government is rich. Senior officers of the Communist Party, they are rich. They are corruptions. They steal money from normal people. A lot of the normal people, they steal poor. They have a lot of debt. They buy a house. They buy a house from the government, but actually the house never belong to the normal people. The land is a public ownership. You cannot own land in China. So you buy a house, it's a scamming. Scamming. They scam your money. And you borrow money from the bank. The bank belong to the country as well. So you pay twice. You pay double price, but you get nothing. You earn nothing. So that's why. Yeah, government's rich. They can invest this. They can invest that. But for normal people, they're very, very poor.
Okay, so are you saying the poor people, the government did not help, they don't help any money on to build the home or no? No at all?
Even
How they
Chinese
can beat them?
policemen, they secretly kill a lot of people. If you are identified useless for the society, for the countries, they secretly kill you. In Beijing, there is a tragedies. A lot of the homeless was arrested and killed secretly. You are not useful for the government anymore. So the poor people, for communism regime, they don't care about the people's life. They care about the power. If power was held by the hand, they care about the power and stability. No matter how much price they will pay, no matter how many lives they will die, they will keep the power on hand. That's the communist parties, the communist regime's essentials. You know, to don't care about that, they spend a lot of money in the outside and they are strong. Yes, they are strong. They steal money from people. They slave the people. They slave the people. The 1.4 billion people live in China. But only 100 million people are the member of the Communist Party. But member is only 10% of them is rich. High senior officers of the Communist Party, their corruptions, they have the 10 million US dollars in the bank account. But those monies do not belong to them. Those money is coming from normal people. So if you today buy the made in China products, it's cheap. It's cheap now. Yes. And the more you buy the made in China, the soon your industry was ruined and destroyed. You will lose your you will lose your industry. You will lose your manufacturing capability. In the 20 years later, you will lose your freedom because everything is under control of the Communist Party in this world. You will lose your freedom. Today you pay less, tomorrow you pay more. You pay your freedom. You pay the price. You know.
I mean, I would say to
So the government, how can they stand for themselves to take everything or to rule without the civilian? I think they couldn't develop without their people, the civilian. I agree with you, civilian. Yeah, some of them is poor. This is everywhere.
Yes.
But China is
Civilian got problem.
nobody. I agree with you. Nobody knows what is going on there.
Chinese people keep silent for 75 years already. But now it's a time to speak out. Now it's a time to tell the truth to the world. You know, 1.4 billion people live in China. Most of them is a slave of the government. Even in the whole China, mainland China, they are like the prisons. They managing the people like the prisoner. They managing people like the prisoner. They like you. They force you. Yeah, they force you to work and pay you very little money. They are slave labor. Even In the Xinjiang area, the Muslim, there's 10 million Muslim was put into the concentrated camp. Force them to work every day, no pay, no pay. They are slave labor. They are slave labor. 10 million people, you know, a lot of people with slave labels. They made the potatoes. They made the cottons. They made the cottons for the clothes. Yeah, potatoes, food, everything. They sell them to the Europe countries. Yeah, some countries accept it. Most of the countries refuse that. Why they are so competitive in the market? Because they're cheap. Why is it cheap? Because they do not pay the wage for the workers. They slave the people. Today, they use the cheap products to get